Did you know that electrical outlets expire? Well, not really expire, but they do go bad. Hi, I'm Rick Bullard, and I'd like to show you how to change a bad electrical outlet. The United States Consumer Protection Commission says that there are over 5,000 fires annually from faulty electrical outlets, causing multiple deaths and millions in property damage. So, how do you know if you have a faulty outlet? Well, power surges, sparks, smoke. If any of your outlets are discolored in any of the way here, if you'll see this discoloration around the outlet port, or any kind of intermittent power, or if you have loose plugs, if your plugs fall out of the outlet, these are all signs that that outlet needs to be replaced. And I'm going to show you how to replace it safely and how to test it. Pause. The experts at Chesapeake Electric say that a good outlet lasts 15 to 25 years, but depending on usage, they could go out sooner. So I'm going to demonstrate how to change this outlet. There is no discoloration on this outlet. There's nothing wrong with this outlet. I have replaced them recently. But here you'll see, here are the tools you're going to want to get started. One, you're going to want a new outlet. They could look like this, or they could look like this. Notice that this faceplate looks different than this faceplate. They will not work alternatively. So make sure you get the correct faceplate for the outlet. You're going to want a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a pair of wire strippers, possibly wire cutters, needle nose pliers, something to test the electrical circuit, a multimeter, or a lamp could work as well. Just make sure that the lamp works prior to using it to test. You're going to want safety glasses, gloves, long sleeve cotton shirt, closed toe shoes, and a drill could help speed things along. But the first thing you want to do is make sure you de-energize the circuit. Remember, electricity can be very dangerous. If at any point you do not feel comfortable doing these tasks on your own, you should stop and call a professional. Pause.
Yep.
The National Medical Library says that there are over 30,000 non-fatal electrocution injuries every year. There's also over 1,000 deaths every year. So be sure to be safe, de-energize the circuit, and test the circuit. Any job can be done safely if you take the proper safety measures. Pause. Take your tester, stick it in the outlet, and check for power. See how it stays lit red? We know we have power. So let's go disconnect the power. So these are what your electrical panels are going to look like. You'll want to find the correct circuit for the breaker you're working on. All electrical panels will have a category list over here that tells you what switches go to what. The one I'm looking for is number 12, basement lights, so I will just flip that to the off position. Now we'll go down and test the outlet. All right, I'm back in here in the basement. I've tested the outlet for power. There is no power. Just for full disclosure, I did kill the wrong circuit. When I came down to check, there was still power. So I went, found the correct breaker, and I now have it off. So your first step is going to be to remove the faceplate. Here you have the electrical outlet in the receptacle box. The receptacle box is the blue part. The outlet's here. Before you touch any part of there, you want to try to check for any other live wires. Look inside the box. Make sure there's no big messes. Doesn't look like there's any insulation or insect or rodent life in there. Just make sure everything looks good, clean. Right, at that point, we verified we don't have any power. we are good to remove the outlet. You got 2 Phillips screws, one on top, one on bottom. Want to pull those out. Again, look inside the box. Don't see anything. See 2 white wires. Those are your neutral wires. You've got 2 black wires, which are your hot or your live wire. And then you've got a copper. It's generally going to be green, or a ground, which is generally green or copper. And notice that the ground is hooked to the green screw. Your white wires are connected to the 2 silver screws, and the hot wires, black wires, are connected to the 2 gold screws. If you look at the new outlet, again, green screw, 2 white screws, 2 gold screws. Now these screws are connected together by this tab right here. So the electricity that goes to one is also on the other. What you have here is you've got the electricity signal coming in one, and then going to other outlets with the other wire. So I'm going to remove these outlets by using a Phillips screwdriver to loosen the screws. Use your needle nose pliers to take the outlet, the wires off of the screw. Sometimes this can be a little bit of a challenge. Once you have the old outlet out, you will take the new outlet again, white screws, white wires. So you'll just reattach. It doesn't matter which screw, which white wire goes on, top or bottom, as it's essentially the same wire. And since I'm on this side, I'll go ahead and do the ground wire. Oh, you also want to inspect your wires here for any melting or any dark discoloration, anything that would lead you to believe that wire may no longer be good. I see a little bare spot right here on the insulation, so I'm just going to clip this off. I'm going to take my wire strippers. I'm going to find the 14 gauge here. I'm going to use that slot to strip a section of new wire. Squeeze in that slot, rotate your strippers, and then just pull off to expose the wire. You're going to want to bend this wire around so it will go around the screw just a little. And then just tighten down the screw. This wire is perfectly fine, doesn't need any change. Just pop it on there. Make sure you get a good connection with that screw. It's all the way down in there and good and tight. You want to check it, make sure all your wires are tight. Once they are, you can line these screws up to the holes in the receptacle box and gently but firmly push the outlet into the receptacle box, and then line up your screw holes, and it should drill is nice for speeding things along, but it can also apply too much force and end up doing damage. So just be cautious. And then new faceplate. Be careful not to crack your faceplate by over tightening this screw. Doesn't need much, just a little bit of a snugness. All right, now we're good to resupply power and check the outlet. All right, here we are at the breaker. You'll want to re-establish or re-energize that breaker, that circuit. There we go. It did not trip. That's a very good sign. Now we'll go test the breaker.